Well, everyone, the question on everyone's lips: what's happening in the market? Are we in a buy mode? Are we in a sell mode? Is the fear factor still there, or is the greed factor coming back? What are people saying in the news? Is the bears finally been shaken out of the woods and now we're into green pastures of new to shoot up to these all new time highs that we're hoping for, praying for and longing for? Or is it a case of we've got to grind it out for the next couple of weeks, couple of months to see where we're going and slow progression up to the actual levels that we want to be at? Well, in today's rundown, we're going to go over the news, what the people are saying out there, the market, what's happening, how the coins are performing, Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins as a whole. Then we'll go through the charts, looking at how Bitcoin's performing, how Ethereum's performing, and what is my view, it's not financial advice, but my view on how the market's looking, what will happen if Bitcoin breaks out or if Bitcoin gets rejected. So if you want to learn more, you want to know more, and that sounds interesting to you, let's get into the video. So straight off the bat today, we don't want to mess around. We want to get straight into the news and see what people are saying out there. Now, I've been reading a lot of news, a lot of FUD, a lot of FOMO. There's absolutely 99% crap out there and 1% is actually valuable, because rightly so and understandably so, there's a lot of fear out in the market. People are grasping at any old thing that they can, which gives them sort of emotional stability or fools them into thinking everything now is rosy, sort of like kidding themselves, or we're kidding ourselves, which happens, you know. If you're new into crypto and this is the first time you've been sort of wrecked, or the first time you've sort of had this kind of 50% dumped on you, you're going to start believing any news that sort of comforts you, the comfort news as we call it. But some of the news is absolutely fundamental out there, and one piece of news that I was reading in particular was an interesting kind of read via obviously I'm not a big fan of Cointelegraph, but I do take a lot of their news because there is a lot of independent writers on there. But here, 3 convincing signs that the Bitcoin bears are stopped selling. Now, obviously one of them signs is going to be straight off the bat that we're starting to see a lot of green candles, and as it says on here, we've got Bitcoin that's starting to move into the ranges of breaking out of that sort of trading range that it was in, and we're seeing levels of sort of, you know, more confidence in the market. So for instance, one of the things you'll see and on here is you don't really want to get bullish, and I'll confirm this within the charts, until Bitcoin gets into the $42,000 range. But it's not that it wants to get in there, it just needs to continue out of this trading range that it's in. Now, obviously with the news, obviously the bullish reversal, Bitcoin going up, you've got here some people saying that the hodl army are growing through the dip, and the diamond hands are now showing. Glassnode defines accumulative addresses of those that have at least 2 incoming Bitcoin transactions, etc, etc, etc. But sort of narrowing this down, why I chose this article and why I believe it is because the fundamentals are there. Now, we don't want to go too much on speculation, and we don't want to listen to everyone saying, yeah, the ball runs over, because they're trying to convince themselves, so they're reflecting it on you. For instance, I heard a taxi driver the other day, no disrespect to him, but he'd been in the crypto game like a couple of months, and all of a sudden he's like in Top Dog and Wally of Wall Street, and he's an expert in it. But because obviously he'd over invested, and he said, yeah, I've lost a lot of money, but I know it's the bull market, I've seen this before, but he's only been in the game a couple of weeks, blah blah. But if you have a look at the actual charts and you see the convincing signs, as it says here, obviously Bitcoin's breaking out, you will see the signs of recovery. But as I'm going to show you here as well, there's still a lot of fear in the market, but the fear is going away. Yesterday that was down, I think around about 11, 12. Today it's at 22, and this will update in an hour. So as long as we keep trending out of this, it's going to be a good sign, and we start getting back into where people start being greedy again and want to buy everything up. Now, with the market being in a fear, and the way we're going to look at the charts in a moment, this could be now a good time. Like I say, it's not financial advice, but a good time to buy. Everything's sort of discounted on sale. Everything's not on the flash crash sale that we saw when things dumped on Sunday, last week's crash, and then the big dump on Sunday. But everything is still cheap. Everything's still relevant. If you think of what some of these coins are trading at, I mean, I'll pull some straight off the bat, like Pokemon, for instance. I think that's around about $5.5–6 now, and that was trading at one point at $35–40. Do you know what I mean? That's like a 7–8x nearly. And you've got other things like Poker Markets, which I think is a great project. It's got some great stuff about it. It was all the way up at like over $2 at one point, I think, and now it's trading at like right down there at like, I think 30 cents or something like that. It's just absolutely had a big cane. And there's a lot more that you'll know, obviously, by looking at your altcoin bags and stuff like that. But what the generalization is, what I'm trying to say is, and this brings us into the market, is the market is still fearful. The market is still, you know, recovering from this big crash that a lot of the newcomers to crypto are not used to. And as you know, in this space this time around, compared to when we had the bull run back, or the 2017, or even before that, you know, there wasn't as many people in there. This time there's a lot of new people in. There's a lot of new people coming into crypto space that are unaware of how volatile crypto is. So they've had a big shock. They've had a big thing. So it's taken a little longer for them to recover. So the fear and greed index will start going up, in my opinion. And when we get to the yellow zone, that's when we could be really looking at our altcoins recovering quite nicely. But for me at the moment, I'm looking at key indicators. One key indicator is the fear and greed being at 22, and you know, this is a good buying opportunity. The other we're looking at the market, you know, we're seeing a sort of like a grinding out recovery on a lot of the coins, apart from obviously, of course, we've got the likes of Matic that's had a massive pump. I think even Engine started to have a bit of a great run, and some of the low cap altcoins, because they went so low, they've sort of started having super runs. But if you have a look here, like Hollow, 32% in the last 24 hours. You've got Telcoin, and you know, just quite a few of these have had some great pumps. Pancake 10%. We've got a 17% here on Thorchain, for instance, and even on Solana. You know, these great projects in here, the Polygon Matic, the 25%. Obviously, everyone knows that's been pumping great stuff. I think it was like at $2.30, and I think it's down to about $2.18 now, if I remember rightly. But there is good signs that we're having that sort of relief rally, and the market is slowly grinding to recovery. But this is largely due to, and we're going to go into the charts now. So going to the charts, we'll look at the Bitcoin here. Bitcoin was trading in this channel here. It had the massive crash. It come back up and started trading in this channel. There was a lot of fear in the market, and you know, everything just got smashed. It was going down, it was going up, and it went all the way down here. This was, I believe, the big crash on Sunday, and since then it's been taking a nice relief rally all the way up. Now Bitcoin here is hitting a fundamental kind of resistance. There's a lot of resistance at 40,000 for some reason, and we need it to break through this 40,000 to 42, start hitting this trend here, uptrend, to go more, come down, retest this resistance, which will then turn into support, and then start on its rally up. But as we know, Bitcoin's struggling at the moment, and it's hit it once, it's hit it twice, and it didn't quite get there. Now it's sort of going on a downtrend, using this 5-day moving average as support, and hopefully we'll know by the end of today sort of if Bitcoin's going down, if it's going sideways, or if it's going up. Now we'll talk about these scenarios quickly in the charts. If Bitcoin goes up and tests this again, we're highly likely that we should be breaking out. We should break this resistance, because as you know, the more you tap away at something, the weaker it gets. If it doesn't start recovering here and it doesn't start getting above these, and we look on here, you see these get above this lower high here, then Bitcoin's going to struggle. And if Bitcoin struggles and starts coming back down to these low 35s here and starts going into this box range, or even worse, goes back into this channel, you're going to see a lot of panic back in the market. You're going to see a lot of your altcoins, the relief rally that's happened is going to be absolutely reversed and flipped on its arse, and you're going to see a lot of your altcoins dump again. Now it's up to you. I know a lot of YouTubers on there have their opinion. I have my opinion. You do you, I do me. But what I would be doing, I'd be looking to kind of anything that's sort of like in profit from that relief rally, or anything that looks like it's close to the break even or profit, I will be getting rid of. Now the only reason I'd say I'd be getting rid of that is because I want to buy back in lower, because it's taken a lot longer to sort of recover from these crashes. Obviously everyone's brought in higher than what prices are now. Now the way we can recover some of that thing is play the market a bit smarter and look at what's happening. As they say, the trend is your friend, and we're not just talking about an uptrend and a downtrend. We're talking about a trend is if Bitcoin tends to get rejected and come back into sort of lower supports, we know that altcoins dump. Now if we can get see the signs early and get abreast of that and sort of sell not all our positions, but maybe just sell the profits to buy back in the stronger positions at a lower price, that's what I'd be looking to do. Now saying that and looking on these kind of prices, we're looking at Ethereum. Now Ethereum is, you know, needs to do the same. Obviously these charts are going to look the same, by the way, because this is against ETH against USDT. If I just go to Ethereum versus Bitcoin, and if we just go to, bear with me 1 second, so we just go to ETH versus Bitcoin, you'll see it's doing a lot stronger. There's a lot more confidence in Ethereum than there is in Bitcoin at the moment, and you'll see here that the Ethereum's just starting to break in on the 4-hour candle into an uptrend. So if we see a nice consolidation along here, we should see a more bullish momentum go up, because I can't imagine this being kind of like a fake out uptrend. And and it's only my opinion, and this has worked for me all the way through this year, is especially on the 4-hour, whenever these two cross and this 5 goes across the 144 and goes into a bit of an uptrend, we will see a little pump to the upside. Now you can see here for the last 4, 8 and even the last 12 hours that with Ethereum's had a nice little consolidation against Bitcoin. Now hopefully, and I'm bullish on Bitcoin and I'm bullish on Ethereum, hopefully we should be seeing that this price action does see Bitcoin bounce off this kind of moving average support of the 5-day moving average here, and starts having a bit of a slow grind and then a pump up, and we want to see it bust through this resistance, reach off 42, come back down, test this 40 and go back up. Because what that does is then that puts confidence back in Bitcoin, that puts stability back in Bitcoin, and it gives us, you know, sort of momentum and a stronger position in a higher yield for Bitcoin. Because then obviously Bitcoin's got a lot of work to do to get to where I think is the turning point in the bull trend, which is all the way of this old resistance here, all the way up to around about the 58. We want to see it 58,000 poking through there and start pushing its way through. Now that being said, you know, you can never tell these things. It's not a crystal ball, and you know, all we can do is go on the charts. And some people are a firm believer of the charts. I'm big on technical analysis. I believe the charts show the emotion in the market, that coupled with the fear and greed, that coupled with the news, that coupled with, you know, the general consensus of what's going on. I mean, I'm not talking about all the FUD and the waffle in the social media groups and that stuff, because we all know social media groups are designed to kid themselves or sort of talk about the FUD. there is a lot of people on Twitter that, you know, like to look at things and, you know, be a bit more technical and be a bit more energetic through things. But what it is it's like, you know, you have to choose the right people to kind of listen to, because you don't want to be wasting money, you don't want to be throwing it into any old idiot or on the back of any old crappy advice. So on this channel we just try and stick to facts. We try and stick to what the general consensus is of the smart money and the smart people. But you know, it's definitely wise to just keep your eye on Bitcoin, make sure it breaks through that resistance and don't fall back in that channel. If it does start to come back in that channel, you want to start looking at your portfolios. Again, not financial advice, but you want to start looking at your portfolios, because the altcoins are going to start taking a little bit of a hit again, but they will go up. I mean, I've always said all the way back from January that I think that September is going to be kind of when you see the face melting gains. Anywhere from September, October, November. I know a lot of people were saying the bull run might even go to December, but I think after this crash, I think the market's lost a bit of confidence, so we could be looking at a bit shorter. But that being said, you know, we have to take these things day by day. We have to keep these things fresh on the channel. We need more education out there, because, you know, there's a lot of people, and you'll know this, a lot of people are FOMOing into things, getting wrecked and then crying afterwards, and we don't want that to happen. The market's unpredictable, the whales are messing us around, unpredictable news and tweets, and we're just trying to stay ahead of what we can. So that's today's rundown. The news is that the bears could have stopped selling and we could be sort of getting out of the woods. The market, the consensus is we are in a relief rally and signs are looking positive, they're looking good, we're going in a bullish momentum, and the charts are trading in an area that, you know, it's either make or break. We could see a relief up, or if it gets rejected, which no one knows, when it starts coming down, we could see high probability we'll see a hit on our altcoins. So I hope this has been informational for you. Remember to subscribe, smash the like button, press the bell so you know you get these notifications as and when they come out, and hopefully we'll be a bit more wiser, smarter every day of the week, every week of the month, going as much as this bull run we can to, you know, make the most money we can, you know, combat the least risk that we need to in the market, and make a load of money. So I'm Christian, this is Crypto Ripto. Stay safe, trade smart.